The Battleface podcast is broadcast live on Fridays and Sundays, and we encourage you to come hang out and chat with Bard and Dare live. Now, prepare to declare attacks. You are entering the Battle Phase. Hello, everyone. It is I, the Midnight Bard, your favorite bard, and you have entered the Battle Phase. Joining me as always is everybody's favorite co-host, who is the subject of many, many memes on our Instagram, Dareinger.
I don't know why I have to deal with this every week.
Well, you signed up for it.
It's suffering.
Also, one more thing that I should say is that I discovered today, just like randomly, that our stream UI and like our avatars and everything are very Taco Bell themed. We use the Taco Bell color scheme, and I didn't even notice. I was just like, I guess it's just like the synthwave thing where like everything is like pink and purple and like cyan and stuff like that. And Taco Bell uses that very same exact color scheme. So like whenever I was ordering my breakfast crunch wrap, I was just kind of like, oh, interesting. Why do I feel like I'm right at home here? And then I looked, and I'm like, oh my god, this is colored just like our stream.
It was my plan this whole time to have us in Taco Bell colors. Because you were like, oh, let's do blue and no.
Of course.
Purple.
But
yellow.
Joining us also is one of the strongest duelists on our Discord, Sky Stormsong.
Hello.
All right, and Sky and Dare, today you guys are going to be competing over who has the most knowledge over our favorite card game, Yu-Gi-Oh!
I always come into these a little too cocky, and then I get my ass handed to me, and I'm not going to do that today.
Yeah, so, Dareinger is a Konami registered judge, so he, knows the rulings, and, he knows the cards, and he knows interactions really well. And Sky's just an avid player who has encountered a lot of stuff, and also a huge fan of the anime and manga, right, Sky?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say, and Sky's just better than him.
Well, Sky has definitely proved herself to be the best on several occasions, finally ending my undefeated reign a year ago, right?
Yeah.
What's it called? Here's the way that I have set this up. We're going to have questions not just about the card game. We're going to have questions about the anime. We're going to have questions about the manga. We're going to have interesting questions about like the author and like, just stuff that's adjacent to the game. So there will be questions that ask you like, okay, well, this card does this. What other card does something similar? And you guys will have to answer. But there's also things like, oh, in this year, this happened and it caused this. Can you tell me more about that? So before we get started, I just wanted to say hello to Gamma and Vex in our chat. It's good to see you all. And, other than that, hold on just a second. I need to click on the right window so that we can move on. Before we begin, please remember to like, subscribe, and share. As I've been saying over the past couple of weeks, we are trying to grow our podcast so that way we can get huge and be known worldwide. It is our dream here to be the kings of the podcasters. Dare will be.
I thought we were being the Burger Kings.
We will have a episode on burgers in which our title will change to the Burger Kings. Yes. First, we conquer the podcasting world, and then Burgerland.
Okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Gamma has a question here. When people make a card game or a game-inspired manga, do they start with the game or the manga first? This one specifically is, what's it called? Kazuki Takahashi.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Was started from a random game that was in a manga because the original Yu-Gi-Oh! The Yu-Gi was called The Gambler, I believe. And he would just do different games of chance. And one of the games in one of the mangas was Duel Monsters.
Yeah, it was a card game.
the fans loved it so much that they were like, we'll make another like spin-off
Yeah.
of that, and then that blew up into Yu-Gi-Oh.
And it basically came from the fact that like the author, and we can speak to this freely because it's not in any of the questions, but like the author was a huge fan of games, so he loved video games, tabletop games, card games, etc. And he wanted to make like he wanted to make an action manga, but he knew that he couldn't draw something to match things like Dragon Ball, which were going on at the same time that he was trying to come up with a manga. And so because he didn't feel confident that he could do that, he decided that, yeah, I'll make an action manga, but instead of like being, like cool fights, my characters will play games. And as Dare said, yes, one of the chapters, they played a card game that was based on Magic the Gathering, and the fans loved it so much that they started writing into Shonen Jump and asking, where can we get cards for this card game? And, the rest is history. Basically, Shonen Jump told Kazuki Takahashi, hey, from now on, your manga's about card games, so, figure it out. And he had to make rules for the game, and yeah, one thing leads to another, and it's 25 years later, and the game's still number 3, or one of the big 3 in card games. The first being Magic, and the second being Pokemon, or vice versa.
That season 0 was that was pretty intense.
Mm-hmm.
you just straight up kills people.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
It was horror themed first, like it was a very horror themed manga, and then they were like, well, we don't know that that's gonna go so well with like us trying to sell cards to kids, so can you lighten up a little? So then afterwards it became themed around friendship, and it's like, oh, okay, well, this is a lot easier to handle.
He burns a guy alive in a bar because he's like, hey, you gotta either choose to stop pouring this alcohol, but if you do that, then the lighter's gonna fall and catch everything on fire. The guy's like, okay, everything's on fire now.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. But so we're gonna get started with our first question, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna have my Discord open, and then whoever I see hits me with the answer first is gonna be the person who gets to answer first. And if you don't get it correct, then the next person's gonna have a chance to steal. So the first question, super simple. What year was the Yu-Gi-Oh manga first released? And we do have multiple choices here, by the way. It looks like Sky put hers down. She said that the answer. Oh, I'm sorry. I should have read the multiple choices out loud because Sky said 1992. Yes. I'm sorry.
I'm like, where's the choices? Is this short answer?
That was my bad. Oh no. So unfortunately, no, Sky. 1992 is not correct. Dare 1996 is right. Yes. So we're gonna say Dare takes this one. And let's see. I do have slides that show the answers here. So September 17th, 1996 was when it was first published. So in the weekly Shonen Jump. Fun facts. The unethical ethicist says this trivia is challenging right off the bat. Yeah, super great. So next up, question 2. You guys ready?
Yeah. Maybe this time we'll get the answers. Before.
Yeah, I will read. I will read the multiple choices out loud. There will be 4, and once I reach the end, you guys feel free to send me a DM. Okay. All right. So here we go. The next question says, the artwork for the card Fairy Tale Snow has been edited for international release. What changed? A, the color of her hair. B, the length of her dress. C, a poison icon was removed. Or D, the color of her dress. Dare get me first, and he says dress length. That is incorrect. Sky also said dress length, and that is also not correct. Dare sends another one right after it. He says color. I'm sorry, Dare, you already got the answer wrong. So, but if you had guessed that first, then the answer would have been yes. It's the color of her dress.
I remembered it was something with the dress. I couldn't remember if, like most of the altered art is because the dress is too short and
Yeah,
PCG.
yeah. We
So I just went with that.
for international release, usually if there's like a mini skirt or something, the editing on the artwork is they'll lengthen the mini skirt. In this particular case, the Japanese artwork for Fairy Tale Snow, which she's based off of Snow White, so the color of her dress is like Disney's Snow White. Which wouldn't have done well for copyright and like all that kind of stuff. So they changed the color of her dress from the iconic blue to red, and that's what's going on here with Fairy Tale Snow. The more you know.
Are all the fairy tales based off of different
All of the fairy tales are based off of different
Disney's?
fairy tales. Yes, and not
Oh,
specifically
okay.
like Disney movie fairy tales, but like yeah, different fairy tales for sure.
I
So
learned something today,
yeah.
which I probably knew that but forgot it. But oh, I learned something today.
Okay, so like, here we go with question 3. Which of the following is not a rank 1 monster? We have A. Baby Tyragon, B. Number 100 Numeron Dragon, C. Number 65 Gin Buster, or D. Number 83 Galaxy Queen. Dare hits me first with number 100, and that is incorrect.
Oh, I know what it is then.
It's not a rank one?
It's not a rank 1. Sky hits me next with C, number 65 Gin Buster. And that is right. Number 65
Yeah.
Gin Buster is a rank 2. So there you have it.
I was thinking 100 was the rank 12.
Yeah, you were probably thinking of like what's the other one that summons him like that cheats him out onto the field, right?
Draglublion?
Draglublion, yes. That's probably what you were thinking, but no, and this is the reason that I put number 100 in there is because I'm like, I know that one's going to be kind of like a curveball. Not everyone's going to think like, well, obviously he's number 100. His rank must be very high, but no, he's in fact a rank 1. So
Well, with the dragon ones, there's a lot of them that it's just they like I know like with like Ultimized Zulkin, even though it's a synchro, it doesn't have a level, and I thought Numeron Dragon was like Zulkin, where it didn't have a rank, but it's Xyz, but it's counted as a rank 12.
right, no, see, he is a rank 1, and so Gin Buster, a fiend, 1300 attack, requires 2 level 2 dark monsters, is in fact a rank 2. So
Sprite support.
Sprite support. Here we go. Next one. Which of these characters know each other based off card lore? A. Ash Blossom in Joyous Spring and Ghost Bell in... what is Ghost Bell? Haunted Mansion? Ghost Bell in Haunted Mansion. B. Goyo Guardian and number 16 Shockmaster. C. Tri-Brigade Kit and Sword Soul of Moye. Or D. Mermail Abyss Megalo and Marince's Blue Slug. Let's see what you guys have to say. Looks like Sky hit me first with D, Mermail, Abyss, Megalo, and Marince's Blue Slug, and that is incorrect. Dare hits me with C, Tri-Brigade Kit, and Sword Soul of Moye. That is also not correct. The correct answer
Goyo Guardian
is Goyo Guardian and Shockmaster as seen together on this
Oh,
card
because
artwork.
They're banned. they're both on the card where they're banned.
Yeah, they're both on this card where they're in prison together. Also on this card is Elder Entity Norden. What is this? Millennium Eyes Restrict, or Thousand Eyes Restrict, and what's that? Performa Pal Plush Fire.
Yeah, because it's they're all the banned cards, and that card was released after Relinquished or Thousand Eyes came off the ban list.
Yeah.
So he's waving goodbye to his friends that were in banned jail.
That we're imprisoned with together. Another one of the answer choices that I wanted to put on this one was Sangen and the Angel from Graceful Charity. Because as we know, like they've been in a lot of different artworks together. So it's I feel like that one probably would have been like the easy answer. So
Sangan and tour guide.
Sangan and tour guide, etc. Yeah. So here we go. Number
We're not
11.
doing too good, Sky.
You guys have only
Yeah.
missed two. It's fine. Which of these archetypes is based off of the card game Card Fight Vanguard? Is it A. Crusadia, B. Code Talkers, C. Salamangrate, or D. Soulful Chord?
I'm guessing with that one.
Dare says Crusadia, and Sky says Soulful Chord. Dare is correct. It is Crusadia. And I took this this Reddit guy explaining how and posted it on here. Basically, nothing actually says they are, but they are a paladin aesthetic that could fit in RP. The basic win condition of the deck is to ride up to their grade 3 Equimax, then twin drive, point to 2 monsters, possibly with a critical trigger, Maximus to OTK. So if you guys know what Card Fight Vanguard is, then congratulations. That's a lot of words to explain why this is Card Fight Vanguard.
I seen the first episode of Vanguard, and I was like, it's not the other ones.
Brother Gamma is in the chat, and he says, "Congrats, Dare! Yay!" So here we go. Next question. Yugi's friend group includes one member in the original animated Season 0 series that is absent from Duel Monsters. What's their name? Is it A. Mai Kujaku, B. Takaru Homura, C. Shunsuke Kazuma, or D. Miho Nozaka? Sky says D.
Oh, no, that was from the last one.
That's from the last one. Okay, Dare in that case says D. And Sky says C. So Dare is actually correct. It's Miho Nozaka.
She's the pink-haired girl or something, wasn't she?
Purple-haired girl. She's on the screen
Purple
right now.
hair.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I don't know colors.
Taco Bell.
Taco
She's
Bell.
Taco Bell girl.
All right, moving on to the next question. We have the Joey Chin meme, where Joey Wheeler, in a moment of excitement, develops an overly defined chin. Originated from what? We have A, a reference to a fan art submitted to Kazuki Takahashi, B, an inside joke amongst the animation team, C, professional wrestling, or D, a drawing Kazuki Takahashi made while drunk.
I don't know, but I hope it's that.
Dare says C, and that is correct. C is right. Yu-Gi-Oh! Animation director confirms the Joey chin was inspired by wrestler Antonio Inoki. And there's a picture on the screen now that you guys can see, and this is where the Joey chin comes from.
I hope it's just, yeah, that's what I hope it was.
Were you guys aware of this?
I was not, but I saw pro wrestling. I was like, I hope it's something with pro wrestling.
I didn't know about this until I was putting this slideshow together. I was like, no way. Yeah, the animation director said, you know what? I think Joey would be a fan of pro wrestling. So probably whenever he gets excited or pumped up, he would probably mimic one of his favorite wrestlers. So they took Antonio Inoki and they just gave Joey his chin.
HR wants you to tell us the difference between these two pictures.
They're the same picture. All right, here we go. Next one. A character from the Yu-Gi-Oh! OCG Structures manga is modeled after a monster card. Which one? Is it A, Downward Magician, B, Princess Pikaru, C, Tour Guide from the Underworld, or D, Live Twin Leela? The OCG Structures manga being the fun one where characters live in an alternate reality from ours where dual discs are real and they play the actual game with the actual rules and an actual ban list. Sky is first, and Sky says B, Princess Pikaru. Princess Pikaru is not correct. And
No.
Dare is second, and he also says B is Princess Pikaru, and that's also not correct. The correct answer is Tour Guide from the Underworld. The The shop owner or the shop attendant, the in the OCG structure's locals, is always in tour guide from the underworld cosplay.
I figured it was either Pikaru or tour guide. The other two are probably too new for that.
Well, yeah, it started airing around. It started publishing roughly around the time when, like roughly around the time when Eldritch was playable, because there's a character, one of the main villains, go figure, in the manga plays an Eldritch deck. So, whenever they're like, oh yeah, this kid's got like the big bad in their locals, and he's playing Eldritch, I was like, yeah, that tracks. It's just like that sounds about right. So next up we have, which of the following is the protagonist from Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens? Is it A. Yutaro Odo, B. Yuga Odo, C. Yuamu Odo, or D. Yuhi Odo? Sky is first, and she says B. Yuga Odo, which is correct. Yuga Odo is the protagonist for Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens. You guys watch Sevens?
I've watched the first episode of it, and it's like,
It's got a dub. I feel like I could watch it. I just haven't yet. If there's
like the first episode, he's like, they go to some secret cave and they duel the spirit of Kaiba or something, and it summons out Blue Eyes, and then he's like, I can summon 3 monsters at once. And I was like, that's not for me.
If there's one thing that I like the way the cards look in Rush Duel. I think they look so cool, and I would like to see that the way that the cards look to be imported into the present card game.
Some of them I'll agree with you with, but like making all of the like old classic monsters into like, now Battle Ox is Enraged Baseball Ox. It's like,
yeah, they do kind of like change up their design a little bit. Like some of them do.
They make it like more kid friendly.
They make it more kid friendly, right? So Battle Ox, instead of having a giant axe, now has like a baseball bat, and he's playing baseball. Yeah, so yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, like it's a little weird. Next question: which of the following spells has a monster card version? Is it A. Giant Trunade, B. Change of Heart, C. Triple Tactics Talent, or D. Cup of Ace? This spell card is also a monster. Which one of these? Cup of Ace being part of the Arcana Force archetype, I think, or if not, it just shares like similar design.
It's definitely related in some form.
It's related in some form, yeah.
I'm guessing with this.
Dare has a guess, and he says B. Change of Heart, which is correct. In Rush Duel, Change of Heart is part of a food archetype where, what's it called? It's a card called Coconut Changel of Heart.
What?
Yes.
Sounds like something maybe played in Madolche or something.
Right. It sounds like a Madolche card.
But it's water though.
This is what you were talking about, Dare, that they change him up a little bit to make him a little more kid friendly.
I like the half demon, half angel magic card that we grew up with, Bard.
You don't like the one that's offering you
like this.
You don't like the coconut flavored dessert version?
I don't like the coconut flavored dessert version.
All right, moving on from Rush Duel, we have the next question, which says, there is exactly 3 level 1 ritual monsters in the entire game. One is relinquished. Another is Buerlabis de Nouvelle. What's the third? Is it A. Drytron Medionis Quadrantids, B. Cyber Sage, C. Performance of Sword, or D. Conductor of Nephthys? Dare says Drytron. That's incorrect.
Oh,
Mhm.
I remember they had a bunch of level 1s.
Well, Drytrons are level 2, buddy.
Yeah, I remember they had a bunch of level 1s.
Sky says C, Performance of Sword, and that is also not correct. Performance of Sword is a level.
It's Conductor of Nephthys.
Conductor's level 2.
Vex says A because it sounds cool. It does sound cool. It is one of my favorites. Doesn't get played in Drytron, which is so frustrating, but like it's a good card. Let's see. Conductor of Nephthys, by the way, guys, is also not correct. The correct answer is B,
not.
Cyber Sage.
Yeah, because Conductor is level 2.
Yeah, Conductor's level 2. Yes.
Well, I can name the level 2 ones apparently.
Yeah, you can name the level 2 ones.
I get points for level 2s.
No.
Sprite support.
Here we go then.
That's a fairly new card too.
This is a movie question. In the Bonds Beyond Time movie, Jaden uses polymerization to fuse elemental hero Neos with one of Yusei's monsters to summon Neo's Knight. What was Yusei's monster? Was it A, Junk Warrior, B, Junk Synchron, C, Junk Gardna, or D, Junk Speeder?
Synchro what?
All right, I have A from Sky, which is a Junk Warrior, and that is not correct.
Yeah, I immediately realized what the answer was right after I said something.
Oh no. And we have a C from Dare, which is Junk Gardna, which is 100% right. Yes, it was Junk Gardna.
Synchro what?
So
that movie was so bad. They need to remake it with all of the protagonists up to the brains.
I agree. I think that was like a subject that I put in the discussion board a while ago. It's like, hey, Bonds Beyond Time was nutty, and it was cool that it had 3 protagonists being friends. I would love to see that again. Which one would you guys choose? And me personally,
we'd have like a solid 30 minutes of Yugi just going, Link what? Xyz what? Synchro what?
What?
Me personally, I would love to see
what?
Pendulum what? Like even the Pendulum players would be like, I don't know, dude. Like we just do it, you know. Me personally, I'd love to see bad duelists from each series come together. So
like,
you know, like
all the side characters,
like the side characters. So I was thinking, like, you know, Joey before he got good, probably like
Cyrus.
Yeah, Cyrus, early Cyrus, and what's the name of the guy from Brains? The dude who follows Playmaker around, but he's just terrible. No, not Soul Burner.
Brave
something.
Brave
yes,
Max.
Brave Max. Yeah, like his fanboy, not like his buddy.
We get like.
I would love to see a movie of all 3 of them, you know, like, I don't know, like, maybe a villain was trying to isekai Yugi and, like, the best duelist from different dimensions, but he accidentally, like, mispronounced the spell and got Joey, Cyrus, and Brave Max instead. And then all of them have to, like, collectively figure out how to, like, play good so that they can go back home. Oh, that'd be wild. I'd be all for that movie. I'd watch it twice.
I want one with Yuma, Yuga, and Isaku, just to see how pissed off Isaku can get with those 2.
Oh yeah, because like the 2 of them, because Yusaku's so serious and that Yuya and Yuma are like arguably not. So
yeah.
him just trying to like
I don't think you can say arguably not at all.
so him just trying to carry the team while the team's just not good. That would be hilarious.
Maybe if you could see Astral, it'll be a little bit better, because at least he can be friends with Astral, because Astral can be serious.
Yes, for sure. Like, they decide to swap, like, dual spirits, so now I sticks to Yuma and Astral goes with Yusaku. Oh, that would be a heck of a change. Next question. A Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck has a limit of 60 cards, but that wasn't always the case. Why is there a limit now? Is it because A, for consistency? B, because decks kept falling over when stacked too high. C, a player brought a ridiculously huge deck to a tournament. Or the other one, which says Konami executive decided that anything over 60 was too much. Dare answered first, and he said that some jerk brought a deck that was too big to a tournament, and Sky said the same thing, which is correct. A player bought a 2,222 card deck to the 2007 German Nationals tournament. It took forever to shuffle, and it was just.
It was on like 38 pages for the deck list.
Yeah. So
they had to have two people to carry it.
They had to have two people to carry it.
3 hours to shuffle it. So they didn't make it past round one because the judges were just like, no.
Yeah, we're not dealing with this. You know what you did was wrong.
But they did it to prove a point to Konami, and then after this, we got the rule that 40 to 60 was the deck limit.
So yeah, 40 to 60 is now the official deck limit. We don't have any decks that are bigger than 60 cards. So whenever you see your opponent just like play that grass looks greener off of a 60 card deck, know that it could be a lot worse.
Drew the one of that grass in a 2,000 card deck.
Oh no. Matching it down to like 40. Yikes. I don't even want to think about it.
Then all of the effects that you have to resolve.
Oh god. So next up, we have a video game question. Which of the following is not a Yu-Gi-Oh video game? We have A, 7 Trials to Glory, B, World Duel Carnival, C, Stardust Accelerator, or D, The Door to Destiny. I have played 2 of the games on this list.
I have not heard of any of the games on this list.
I've heard of the last one.
You've heard of The Door to Destiny? Let's see. Dare has an answer first. He says B, World Duel Carnival, which is incorrect.
As I kind of figured.
All right. Sky has an answer, and she says C, Stardust Accelerator, which is also incorrect.
Is it 7 Trials then?
It's The Door to Destiny was the correct one.
The Door to Destiny.
Yeah, seven Trials to Glory is one, and I have played the other 2, which is World Duel Carnival, which was a Sexol game for the 3DS, and a Stardust Accelerator, which is the game that actually taught me to play the game well, which was the World Championship 2009. So if you can think back that far, that's when I was playing, my synchro decks. So Stardust Accelerator, fun game. Which I think you would like this game, Sky, if you've never played Stardust Accelerator, because it basically puts you as a self-made character into the world of 5Ds. So you get to build your own duel runner. You get to participate in like speed duels against like characters from the show. And the speed world field spell is actually kind of fun. So, it's kind of an interesting thing.
5D's nuts.
There it is.
Got him.
All right, next question.
We got there.
This normal monster reads as follows. A mystical dragon that burns away the unworthy with its mystic flames. Is it A, Divine Dragon Ragnarok, B, Odd Eyes Arc Pendulum Dragon, C, Serpent Night Dragon, or D, Seiyaryu? All of them are vanillas, by the way. This isn't a trick question. You just have to know which one has the flavor text which says this.
I have like a 50-50 chance, I think.
Okay. Dare answered first, and he said it was C, Serpent Night Dragon, which is incorrect. And Sky said D, Seiyaryu, which is right. Yes, it is Seiyaryu.
It's one of those two.
It's one of those two. It wasn't Arc Pendulum. That one was pretty obvious, I feel. And I don't know what Divine Dragon Ragnarok goes in, but, he's...
Arc Pendulum's a vanilla.
Arc Pendulum is vanilla, yeah.
Yeah, it's vanilla with a pendulum effect, which they don't count towards the monster effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could have had flavor text on it.
Mm-hmm. So here we go. Next one should be... This is probably the easiest question in the entire trivia quiz, so allow me to prepare myself for you guys to answer right away without me even having to, finish the question. This fan-favorite archetype is presumed to be based off of a popular slice-of-life manga. Is it A, Dragon Maid, B, Live Twins, C, Battling Boxers, or D, Spiral? Sure enough, there's Dare. He says Dragon Maid, and Dragon Maid is correct. I was like,
I want to change my answer to Battle of Boxers. It's more slice of life.
and battling boxers is more slice of life. Okay, so next up we have in this 2021 card introduced in the set Burst of Destiny is notorious for being particularly difficult to get it rid of once it was in play. Is it A? Dare already answered. Sword Soul Supreme Sovereign Cheng Ying. B. Mech Knight Crusadia Abramax. C. Psychic and Punisher. Or D. Destiny Hero Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer.
Let Sky have a chance to like.
Sure.
Because like you said, Burst of Destiny, I instantly knew.
Okay.
What the card was.
Yes.
Sky is guessing, and she says DPE. I'm going to give a point to both of you. Yes, that is DPE.
I've been giving points to both of us because we've been missing a lot.
DPE is the boy himself, released in Burst of Destiny. I think the entire set was named after him, to be honest. Because even though it came with like Sword Soul and Fluwanderies in it, nobody wanted Sword Soul or Fluwanderies. They wanted DPE.
Yeah, that was the like card that it started at like $20 and then immediately shot up to like 100.
Oh man, yeah, and like, and Verte Anaconda was legal back then, so it made it so easy.
That was the Dragoon replacement because it was easier to get on the field than Dragoon, and it gave you more advantage than Dragoon did.
It did, because Destiny Heroes had like good effects, so it was like, hey, just put Dasher and Celestial in there. You could draw yourself some cards or special summon a monster. It's great. And
what? You just like what card in 2021 Burst of Destiny is like DPE?
If it's not DPE, then I'll be shocked. Yes, like the boy himself.
Then you're cheating.
Yeah, the boy himself was ridiculous. And, like I think the only trick in this question is that even though Sword Soul did come out in like Burst of Destiny, Cheng Ying didn't come out until later. So, yeah. So DPE, we love him. Sometimes when he's working for us, we love him. When he's working against us, we're so mad. So next question. The famous Hat deck featured 3 archetypes: hand, artifact, and what? What is the third archetype in Hat? Dare has answered Trap Tricks, and Trap Tricks is correct. It was hand, artifact, Trap Tricks. Yeah.
I played Hat. That was fun.
I never played Hat. I didn't even know that hand was an archetype, to be honest with you.
Yeah, there's Ice Hand and Fire Hand. And then the 106 Giant Hand.
Yeah.
I think there's like 2 other hand cards, but you only played Ice and Fire. And then now they have Thunder, and I think they have another one too, but you don't play the other one.
Yeah. I don't know. Gamma in the chat says, nowadays we want Sword Soul. It's true. I feel like nothing has been fair since Sword Soul. Like, that's my take on it, at least. But that's just because I hate tier elements so bad. I'm so happy that they finally curbed their strength in Master Duel, but like for a while there, I was just like, not this again. So, next question says, this warrior archetype is based on the legendary Knights of Charlemagne. Is it A, Starry Knights, B, Infernoble Knights, C, Teller Knights, or D, Heroic Champions? We had Dare answer first. He said Noble Knights, Infernoble Knights, and that is, that is right. It's Infernoble Knights.
They get new support.
Yeah, we're getting new Infernobles. It's great.
It's not. I mean, we can't get smoke. We can't get smoke screened again, but still.
Yeah, that's a good thing, I guess. Next up, this is another vanilla monster question. Let's see if you guys know this one. Despite its name, this card is in fact not a dragon. Is it A, Luster Dragon, B, Crawling Dragon number 2, C, Curse of Dragon, or D, Odd Eyes Dragon? One of these things is not like the others. Brother Gammas asks if Hat is still viable. I mean, I think it still does stuff, but I don't think that it's a deck that
not without Scythe.
Sky answered first, and she says B, Crawling Dragon number 2, which is right. Crawling dragon number 2 is a dinosaur.
I was gonna say it's a dinosaur, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a dinosaur. There's several cards that are called dragons and are either worms or dinosaurs, which is weird. All right, next. So we have ended the multiple choice round, and we're going into open-ended questions, at which point I will allow you guys, instead of sending me your answers, you could just speak them out loud, and whoever I hear first will just say that's correct. You guys ready?
Yeah.
You ready, Sky?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So here we go. First open-ended question. Name a zombie archetype.
Eldritch.
Dare gets that. Question number 2. This dual terminal archetype that was part of a dominant strategy that revolved around ritual summoning.
Necros.
Necros is incorrect.
Oh.
What was the question again?
And this is a dual terminal archetype that was part of a dominant strategy that revolved around ritual summoning. Brother Gamma in the chat says D.
Dryden's?
Sorry, one more time?
Dryden's?
No, that is also not correct. This dual terminal archetype that was part of a dominant strategy that revolved around ritual summoning was Gishki.
Oh, yeah. That works.
Yeah, Gishki.
Was Necros not dual terminal?
It was, but this is the one that I was talking about.
Oh. So the open-ended questions that have multiple right answers don't have multiple right answers.
Well, this one didn't. This one was about Gishki.
Oh, okay. So
the Midnight Bard was undefeated for 6 months in the Nevermore Collective's Master Duel Tournament. What deck was he playing when he ultimately lost?
Pretty bad one.
See if you guys can remember this part. I thought it was pretty good. Evidently, I was mistaken, so... Dare, who functioned as judge in that tournament, and Sky, who actually beat me. What was the deck I was playing, guys?
Yeah,
I can nearly guarantee what I played.
It wasn't Labyrinth.
No, it was too far back for it to be Labyrinth, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Was it
probably
Tri-Brigade?
It was not Tri-Brigade, no.
Sword Soul.
It was also not Sword Soul. The correct answer was B-Trooper.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, B-Troopers were not good.
No, B-Troopers. For all intents and purposes, they should have been amazing, but no. It's just the heroes.
They could have been amazing.
Heroes could just do a lot more than B-Troopers can. I mean, that's just the reality of it. So, next question. This warrior monster's name is used to describe a deck's starter. What is it? It's a warrior monster who has come to be synonymous with a play starter in a deck. What is it?
Oh.
If your deck has a monster card that starts your plays, they call it this. What is it?
Yeah, I know, but the only things that are coming to mind are not the correct answer.
Is it Stratos?
It's Elemental Hero Stratos is correct, yes.
Yeah, I was thinking Garnet and Rhoda, and those are not the correct answers. So.
Yeah, the correct answer is Stratos. He is... Gamma says daddy. Yes. Damn it. I'm just going to draw Fractal in my next Tri-Brigade play, and I'm going to be like, here's daddy. Damn it. I can't.
Furry confirmed.
Of course. Next up, name a Golden Land trap card.
Golden Land trap card.
Golden Land Forever?
Golden Land Forever is one that I will accept, yes. This monster's card name appears... I'm sorry. This monster card appears in the Gaga Giggle lore and is something of a mad scientist. Who is he?
Is it Mad Scientist?
No, it is not Mad Scientist. He's a mad scientist. He appears in a bunch of different cards.
Kazaki?
Kazaki is correct. This monster, the monsters in this GX archetype are based off of the cards found in tarot decks.
That's the Arcana Force.
Arcana Force is correct there. Let's see. The monsters in this spellcaster archetype are younger versions of powerful spellcasters in Yu-Gi-Oh! Lore, such as Madame Vare and Alistair the Invoker.
Witchcrafter?
Witchcrafter is not correct.
It's the one that Gamma plays. What's it called?
What's it called?
I can't think of the archetype name, but I know it's the deck that Gamma plays. Like, he played for the longest time because it's
give me a name, dear.
It's not Magic Key. What the fuck is that? Gamma, what's the deck that you play?
Don't tell him.
The thing is he plays Witchcrafters. I haven't seen him play this.
He does play Witchcrafters, and I think you're mixing them up. It wasn't Gamma who played this; it was someone else.
Yeah.
It's like on the tip of my tongue. I can't think of it.
Okay, dear. Do you pass?
No. I'm gonna get it eventually.
All right, Sky, do you have a second guess?
Magistus?
Magistus is correct.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, Magistus.
All right, so next up we have, what are the required materials to hard summon number IC1000 Numeronius Numeronia?
5 level 13s.
That very correct. Yes, dear. That's 5 level 13 monsters. Wow, that is very specific.
Why would you do that?
Exactly. No, there's no reason
you
to
don't do that. You can, but you don't because it doesn't have an effect. The way it's summoned is number 1000 Numeronius Numeronia, or number 1000 Numeronia.
Yeah.
Can do something and then rank up into it, and then it gets its effects. If you hard summon it using 5 level 13s, it does not get any of its effects, and it's just a 0/0.
Which is stupid. Like, if you went through that level of trouble, it should win you the game. You know what I'm saying?
No, if you go through that level of trouble, you're stupid for going through that level of trouble.
Yeah, but like number 1000 Numeroni is like, if you use its effect to rank up into it, it gains 100,000 attack. I had to double check that I was looking at the comma in the right place, because I was like, wow, that is a big number. Am I reading that wrong? And I was like, no, that says 100,000. So
there was a table 500 Farfa did where someone hard summoned Numeronia using 5 level 13s with FA.
Damn it.
And then he loses like immediately afterwards.
Jeez. And Gamma is correct. Helix played Magistus. So there we go. Next question. How many different dimensions exist in Arc 5?
4.
Sky said it right. Yeah, it is 4. Which is
we said it at the same time. I'm giving us both points. That's BS.
Okay.
You can't just pick and choose your favorite part.
I heard Sky say it first. Like we'll go back and watch the VOD, I promise you. But like, let's see. Next question. What is the required material to fusion summon tier elements Kalos?
Rukalos and Aqua?
False.
Which one?
Well, actually, kinda. Dare, I grudgingly gift you a point because Rule Kalos and an Aqua still works. It's 1 tier elements monster and 1 Aqua monster. So, like, you are technically correct, which is the best kind of correct, I guess. Like, Rule Kalos, I was like...
I don't remember which one Kalos and Rukalos is. I just remember that it's one of them, it's a tier element and an Aqua, and then it's one and the other.
You said it backwards, and for some reason it still works. So I was like, so whenever I said false, I immediately was like, no, wait, Rule Kalos is still a tier elements monster. I was like... Yeah, okay, fine. Yes, you're right. Okay, next question. Name a Link 5 monster.
Five-headed dragon. If that's not good enough, then I'll have to actually think of its true name.
Five-headed link dragon. Yeah, okay. I will give you that one too. Name a hand trap that isn't one of the ghost girls.
I'm gonna give Sky a chance to answer since I just shotgunned two of them.
Are hand traps just stuff you use from hand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Droll and Lockbird.
Droll and Lockbird is a good one. Yes, we will take that one.
I was gonna say imperm.
I wouldn't have given you imperm, sure. This dual monster's archetype has a synchro monster that allows you to treat an in-archetype monster as a tuner for its synchro summon. What is it?
Odd Eyes?
Dual monsters archetype.
Oh. The whole show is duels monsters.
Odd Eyes. So, first season of the show, or the first series.
The whole show, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel
Is it Heavy
Monsters.
Samurai?
No, that is also not a dual monsters archetype. What I mean is by dual monsters is like the first series, so Yugi, Kaiba, Joey, etc. Has an archetype in it. Has an archetype in it.
See, Sky was equally as confused as I was.
So
I
will blame myself for this one for writing.
I think the sad part is I thought of the one it is first, and I was like, no, it can't be that. That's not what the question is.
Okay, I'll let you guys answer again. So go for it.
Go for it, Sky.
Harpies?
Harpies is correct. Yes, cyber / harpy lady allows you to use a harpy monster as a tuner. So good one. This Sexo character played a rank 4 deck that focused on summoning aquatic predators.
That's Shark.
Reginald Shark Castle is correct. Let's see. In Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains, protagonist Yusaku sometimes works part-time selling what kind of food?
Hot dogs.
That's a point for each of you. Yes, I heard you both at the same time. Hot dogs is correct.
I'm not even taking your, if me and Sky both say it, I'm giving us both points.
Okay, fine.
I'm benevolent like that.
This unique engine is designed in such a way that the player is the protagonist in an isekai story.
The adventure engine.
Adventure is correct. Let's see.
I'm glad that's dead in the water.
The artwork in this archetype is drawn from a first-person point of view. As a hint, I will say that I hate this archetype with a freaking passion. Runic is correct. Let's see. This archetype.
Is it drawn from a first-person point of view?
Yeah. A lot of the quick play spells are drawn from a first-person point of view. Yes. And that's why everybody was calling it the Skyrim archetype.
I'm looking up the cards now.
Yeah.
I see.
This archetype was known as Skyfang in the OCG.
For hire.
For hire is correct. What is
Biggest disappointment.
What is Bard's favorite deck? This isn't a trick question.
Gamma says Runic.
Yeah.
It's the one with the Link 4 bird guy that banishes your stuff and non-target banishes. And he's I'm going to just revolt and send all your stuff from the graveyard back onto the field and then do it again.
Yeah, I was going to say, this isn't a trick question, guys. This is Tri-Brigade.
I was going to say Labyrinth.
Labyrinth is, it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a point for that one, Sky.
Yeah, you know what? Sure. Because I do like Labyrinth a lot, too. So, yeah.
And these questions have multiple answers.
And lastly, what is your favorite deck? This is also not a trick question, guys.
It's not a trick question, but I don't fucking know.
I heard you
Mine is
say
hero.
hero. Yes, there we go. Answer, Dare. Dare.
I don't know.
We need an answer, Dare.
Mystic Mind Burn.
Mr.
I'll out myself.
Okay, so out of curiosity, Dare, were you keeping tallies this entire time, or am I gonna have to go back to the beginning?
I was keeping tallies,
Okay, great.
and it is 24 to 17.
Okay, well, there you have it. Who wins?
Well, it's the friends we made along the way is who won.
Okay, then. It's the friends we made along the way, but yeah. So that's the end of the trivia challenge. What did you guys think? Did you think this was hard?
Some of it, yeah. Others of it, no.
Okay, because like there were some questions that I thought that you guys would get. Like for example, I thought like the fairy tale snow one was a gimme.
Well, like I said, I knew it was something with the dress.
Yeah.
But I couldn't remember what.
I think the winning question had to be like, was it like this Duel Monsters archetype? And then both of you answered something that wasn't from Duel Monsters, and I was like, okay, was that me for writing the question wrong?
Well, I like that I said perform a pal questioning because I was like, I don't know. And then you and Sky laughed at me, and then Sky proceeded to say super heavy. And I was just like, okay, so there's obviously we didn't understand the question.
Oh yes, that was wild. Fun facts that I learned along the way. The fact that Crusadia is based on Cardfight Vanguard to me was fun. I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, and the fact that a Vanguard player himself in the chat like put it together that like, yeah, this is how it functions, and you know, like in Vanguard, it's analogous to this. I was like, holy cow, that's cool. And, you know, like it's one of the things that I love about Yu-Gi-Oh, that each deck can do just something silly that's a reference to something, and like it totally makes sense. You know, like when you stop to think about it, like oh shoot, off the top of my head, I can't think of anything now that I'm into it, except for like, you know, like the Crusadia being Vanguard thing.
The Dragon Maids being Dragon Maids.
And Dragon Maids, yeah, being Dragon Maids, but also I guess full of Wanderies, since they're based on Arctic terns, which never stop flying, like, you know, ever, like during their life. So like the fact that they
Except for penguins that don't fly at all.
I know, right?
And is the problem of the deck.
So the fact that they can play through your turn and through your opponent's turn is kind of supposed to signify the fact that they don't stop flying. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. That's awesome. You know, I guess Nemoralia has another one where, like, if the Nemoralia, like vanilla, is face up on the extra deck is supposed to be their bed, and the field is supposed to be like.
It's like the sleepy Nemoralia sleepy girl.
Yeah, it's the sleepy girl.
It's a girl that's asleep and dreaming, and she's dreaming of like these cake monsters and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so excited for the support they're getting. I'm wanting to build that deck so bad.
Yeah, so like, you know, she's a pendulum monster, so whenever she is put face up onto the extra deck is supposed to be her bed. And so everything that's happening on the field is her dream. So like, you know, like Yu-Gi-Oh could like make a bunch of decks do like really silly things which explain why the deck works the way it works, and I'm like, oh, that is so funny.
And then you have like Valence that turns the game into 4D chess.
Yeah,
the opponent just doesn't get to play.
Valence turns your game into a MOBA, which is like your pendulum zones are your spawn points, and I'm like, that is so fun and so cool, and like like only Yu-Gi-Oh can make things this stupid, and they're great. You know, they're so much fun. Let's see, the Joey Chin meme. Never in a million years, if you asked me, would I have known that it was based off of an actual real life wrestler. When I came across this, I stopped and I laughed for like a solid 5 minutes. I was like, no way.
For what he has to say about it.
I wonder what he has to say about it. I wonder if somebody's talked to him about it. Apparently, like, this is something that apparently went over the heads of everyone in the West because we're not familiar with Japanese pro wrestling. But everyone in Japan knew exactly what this was a reference to. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, imagine us figuring this out like 25 years later, right? um, Tour guide from the underworld is fun to me because like originally when I was looking at OCG structures, I was like, oh, so tour guide from the underworld is just like a real person, and they're like, no, she's just the shop attendant, but she goes to work every day in cosplay. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's fair. Like,
And now you're gonna go to work today every day in cosplay.
nah, no, I mean, I went to work dressed as Super Mario one time. It was Halloween, and you know, like they didn't say that we couldn't dress up in like cosplay. So like I went to Halloween dressed as Super Mario, and it was funny because it landed on exactly the day of like of a work meeting. So can you imagine everybody just going in there and they're dressed like in their corporate best, and suddenly Super Mario, and like
I had an experience like that, so I can imagine that. It's very uncomfortable.
It's so funny because you should have seen like the team lead. You know, he just kind of like goes up and he starts going through his presentation, and like you can tell the moment that he sees me, you know, because like he immediately like has to stifle his laughter. He's just like, oh God, you know, he tries to like go continue on, but then at one point he reaches like a pause, and he's all like, "You got big plans today, Bard?" You know, dress like that? Do you got big plans? And I was like, I was gonna go karting later. You know, because Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. Uh, so let's see other things. Junk Gardner. I didn't know this fact about the Bonds Beyond Time movie. It was something that I saw in a clip yesterday, and I was just like, okay, well, just put that in as a question.
Yeah, I remember that because I was like, why didn't he summon one of his actual cards that people knows he plays?
Yeah. Dragon Maid, I was like, this is probably the easiest question. Phoenix Enforcer, life was never the same after the fact. It's nice to see that you don't see him as often anymore. Like,
Oh, I mean, they banned his fusion spell.
they banned
Or
Verte.
they banned his fusion spell.
Yeah. The open-ended questions were fun.
Yeah,
Now,
especially since they had multiple answers that were correct.
here's the thing though, I thought for sure that you guys were gonna like get the one where like Sky beat me when I was playing Beat Troopers. I was like, this is kind of like a fun callback, and it's like nobody remembered. And I was like, you guys don't remember me playing Beat Troopers for like a month?
Was that the one that I fell asleep?
You've fallen
Was
asleep
that
in
one
multiple.
of them that I fell asleep?
I was about to say you've fallen asleep in both of them. Multiple. What are you talking about? Stratos, you know, like I kind of thought about putting Garnet, but I know that Garnet's kind of like a more common one.
I kept thinking of Garnet and Rhoda,
Yeah.
so I was like, eh.
Yeah. Golden Land, Kozaki, Arcana Force, yeah. Majestus is like gave you guys pause.
I was pissed off because I knew exactly what the archetype was.
Here's the fun thing about Majestus is I kind of keep expecting that we're gonna have a new spellcaster archetype, because each of the Majestus monsters is kind of like the lead in their own archetype. So like for example, Alistair is the lead of Invoked, Endymion is Endymion, and Madame Bear is what do you call it? Witchcrafters.
Witchcrafters.
But we don't know who Zorua is. Zorua is the one Majestus monster who doesn't appear as an older form, only as his younger form. So I expect that we're going to have a spellcaster archetype where he's kind of the focus of it sooner or later.
Maybe
Yeah.
he's the Dark Magician.
We both know that that's just not correct.
Maybe he's the Dark Magician.
If you had asked me how many dimensions were in Arc 5, my answer would have been 5.
Well, there's the standard, there's the pendulum, the fusion, and the synchro.
Yeah,
And there's a Nixie's one too, but the standard dimension doesn't exist in Arc 5 because it was destroyed.
yeah. So I guess when you say it like that, yeah, there was technically 5 at one point, I guess, but now there's only 4.
Yeah.
Okay, now that makes sense, because I was just gonna die mad about this, because I was like, why did you call it Arc 5 when there's 4 dimensions? I was just gonna be like,
because the standard dimension was the 5th, and it got split up into the 4 different
right,
whatever Zark was like, I'm an evil dude now because you guys love me.
I love how like there was that one meme where it was like, here's the reasoning for each Yu-Gi-Oh antagonist, right? And they had like Bakura, like like, oh, I watched my entire clan be sacrificed for like the creation of these Millennium items, so now I'm evil. And we had like Yubel, it's like, oh, I was forgotten and betrayed, so now I'm evil. And then they get to like to the main antagonist for Arc 5, and they're like, my fan base was toxic, so now I'm evil.
My fan base was toxic, so I'm toxic now.
Kind of fits the detainment stuff for it, though.
It does, doesn't it? Let's see. Kit Gallows, I will die mad about this one out there because you answered incorrectly, but somehow we're still right. I was so annoyed. I was like, what? Like,
maybe you should just get good.
Is it Rule Kalos and then an Aqua Monster? And I was like, no. And then I was like, yes.
I've seen it summoned that way before, so.
Oh, good one. Link 5. 5-headed Link Dragon was not what I was expecting. I was expecting the Arrival Cybers at Ignister. Or like
there's
Underworld God.
Dragon. There's
Underworld Goddess of the.
Goddess.
Underworld. Yeah.
There's the Boral Overload Dragon.
Boral End Dragon, yeah.
There's the Code Talker one now.
The new Tri Brigade one, yeah, which is not good.
New, Firewall Terahertz, I think, is a Link 5.
Is it? I thought Tempest Terahertz was a Link 4. Something to look into. Harpies, the question that I worded funny, so like I was just like, you know what? Yeah, you guys go for it. Shark, fairly straightforward, I think. Hot dogs, it's one of my favorite parts of Reigns is the argument of, is a hot dog a sandwich?
Neo Tempest Terahertz is Link 5.
Neat. And of course, you are isekai'd when you play Adventure, and you are playing Skyrim when you play Runic.
You are miserable when you play both of them, and your opponent is miserable when you play both of them.
Yeah, so thank you everybody who showed up for today's trivia challenge, and thank you guys for playing Sky and Dare. You guys done great.
Yeah. Friendship won the day.
Friendship wins the day, exactly as Kazuki Takahashi would have intended. But other than that, before we leave, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow. We are here every week on Fridays. We discuss everything nerdy that we liked throughout the week. So we'll discuss, like new anime, new comics, manga, etc. Like card games, whatever comes across our radar. And on Sundays, we do fun little games like this. And if you would like to, give us something to chat about on our Friday streams, be sure to, reach out to us on Twitter. Hit us up on Instagram, hit us up on Discord. All of those are linked in the description. Come chat with us. We're terribly lonely. Terribly. Like, you wouldn't believe it. But other than that, thank you, Sky, for joining us today.
You're welcome. It was fun.
Yeah, well, I'm happy to hear it, because there will be a secondary challenge at some point, and Dare will come up with the questions, and then you will have to face me. And let's see.
I'm making them impossibly hard.
He has been my co-host with the most ghost, Hamofan and Borganon. You just keep calm and Borganon. And I have been the Midnight Bard. This has been the Battle Phase. Adios!